How's it going? Welcome to Gobble Games. I just had a moment there where I panicked about my audio. So it must be the start of a Tuesday night stream. But the green bars are wiggling down on OBS, so it's all good. Welcome. We are going to play, what is this? I don't know.
Coriolis?
Session like 45 or something of the Mercy of the Icons.
Okay, now.
Which is a thing now. Is it now? This for a while.
It's March the 800th of 2020. We're on session 2 billion of Coriolis.
Mercy of the Icons, Emissary of the Lost. What is it? Do you know what makes me think of? You know, Troy's mum, Loxana Troy, where she's like, bearer of the chalice of Beta Z, holder of the
daughter of the things of Rix and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, mother of dragons.
Of the Andals, stuff of the stuff.
Something that first met.
And so on and so forth. Welcome to Coriolis. My name's Millie. I have some friends. We're going to play a game. How are my friends? How are you, Pete?
Good. Had a very good day today.
Excellent.
It all went well, and meetings were had, which went well, and then children were behaved and went to sleep. And then wine was found in a bag in my office. And I was like, oh, I have wine.
Bag of wine. Is it like a bag of wine, or is it a bottle of wine in a bag?
A bottle of wine in a bag that I'd forgotten about.
Culture. It's not like a carrier bag just with wine point.
Yeah. I've just punctured a hole in the bottom, and I'll be supping from it throughout the show. Bring in a big kind of like IV drip.
Nice. Got to be a good way to
quite
consume
that
one.
bad. Not quite that bad.
And how is Silsila? No, that's not you. Yusuf. How is Yusuf? Sorry.
Yusuf is a man with a renewed passion. He has found the downtrodden, who he is now convinced they should help, but probably just going to blunder blindly into some massive cock up.
Nice. Good effort.
But he wants to help.
Good.
Those mental mystic powers of seeing the future really coming in clutch there, aren't they? It's going to be a massive cock up.
Rude.
Oh, well.
Rude. Thinking it's a massive cock up. Is Graham? How are you, my love?
It's been a really quite tough day at work, but it's okay. Survived it. Had some nice food. Time to maybe roll some dice, but also, be Silsila for a while, which is always relaxing and fun.
How is Silsila?
I guess pretty chilled out, to be fair. Like, we made some new friends. Seems like we're getting rid of the annoying scientist. I apparently have enough money to buy a big gun, and I can give the rest to the stevedore uniform.
Okay. Stevedore uniform.
Nope, not uniform, union. Did I say uniform?
You did.
Yes, that'd be the tired part.
Okay.
I mean, I can just believe they're spending it on uniforms. That's fine.
That's the pilot side coming at you.
It is,
You've got to have a nice uniform.
Nice uniform, so they respect us at the council.
I could have sworn he just said blame it on the Tide Pod. I'm like, have you been doing TikTok challenges from last April?
No. I really can't imagine the mindset of anyone who thought that was a good idea. But if I don't even have TikTok or have been on it, I'll sell my
likely story.
Elsewhere.
Can confirm Graham does not have TikTok. I have TikTok. Spend too much time on TikTok. Anyway, how are you, Ben?
I'm well.
Good. How's Shanaz?
Even better.
Excellent.
And significantly wealthier.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Imaginary money is easier to get.
There is one question that I had for you, and that's about reputation.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I understand that reputation is a flexible thing that can go up or down, much like stocks.
Stocks, yeah, stocks. Okay.
Repu-stonks.
Has there been any change in our reputation, or are we still working on moving things around? Or has it gone up and down in equal degree so that our reputation has shifted without changing numerically?
No, I think your reputation, will have changed because I mean, it's like I almost wish there was multiple reputation stats
Yeah,
in this because such a factional game, such a factional setting, and to have it all under one rep score is
yeah.
is interesting. However, do you think it will have changed? But I wasn't prepared for that question. So
But it's okay. It literally just occurred to me, so I thought I would bring it up, and it does not have to be remedied instantaneously.
But let's roll 66 and find out. No.
Yeah, let's roll dice. I like
Let's
this
roll
idea.
dice. That's
I mean,
what
I
we're
don't
here
have
for.
a reputation, so it's literally.
You don't have a reputation? Are you sure?
It's whatever the lowest one is.
Are you plebeian?
Oh, I bet it's not. Are you a plebeian humanite with a reputation of 0?
No, not this character. That was
Kashark.
Kashar,
Nobody wanted
yeah.
to know. Or
But
nobody who.
I am a plebeian. I am from Algol. So,
Oh, fair point. Yeah.
Like, I might be like a half rung up from Yusuf due to not having the slave tattoos, but it's a very small rung.
0.5.
Yeah.
You must have reputation.
Yeah.
Plebeians start with a reputation of 2.
There you go.
Yep, I've got 2.
Alright, well, there we go then.
You've got 2, and you've got 2. And what did Shanaz have?
87.
7.
7. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay.
She started off as privileged and then got a +1 from somewhere else.
Sounds right. Okay. So yes, it will have changed. I will need to look at that a little bit more, and then I will let you know next week. This is the right book. So last week we invested in a union. We gave Nina Jack a tour of all the colleges and universities on Coriolis, of which there are quite a few. And we prayed to a gambler, and we didn't bring a lizard on board. Then
Not last time.
Not last time. Then after we all sort of Silsilla went back to his ship. A true captain left on the ship. Yusuf, after the Steve Door party that they impromptu threw for you after donating so much to the Black Hands, which is the budding union of Steve Doors and dock
I'm
workers.
imagining that scene in Matrix where they're in the underground cave having that massive orgy. That's what's going on in my head.
Sure.
I don't remember that part. Is it related to the Merovingian?
Just in Zion where they all meet up. Hey, we're in Zion. Get naked.
I keep forgetting the third one exists.
How? Let's see. All right. And then where did Shanaz sleep?
Shanaz didn't sleep.
Oh,
Shanaz was taking meetings.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So who is on like Shanaz's list of meetings?
It was Alarm's Temple.
Yeah.
The Courtesans Guild.
Yeah.
And then the head of the union people, whose name, the lawyer lady who was.
Nialis, Jezebel Nialis from the Free League.
Yes. And then I was trying to timetable something with her for the morning when she started work. And I finished.
Okay. So, page. So the first up, like we have sort of been in touch with Alarm's Temple because they were going to give us a place to dock. Oh, we used a place to dock, didn't we?
We did,
picked
yeah.
them, yeah. Courtesan Academy. Who is her name? Why did I not write this in my notebook? Oh, what a GM.
Is Yusuf waking up with a stonking hangover then?
Possibly. All right. So, Shanaz reaches out to like the temple to thank them for, arrange a meeting, and like the bureaucracy of Alarm's temple on Coriolis is there, but none of like the actual what would be the best like none of the government of Alarm's temple is there.
The MPs are gone, but the civil servants.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So the people who live and work on Coriolis, or Kua, and are native to the area, and are just employed, not necessarily those who are dedicated to Alarm's temple and anything like that. They probably have affiliation and that sort of thing, but none of the like the true believers, the real folks that Shanaz would expect to be there.
So you mean like booking agents and paper pushers and maybe a few courtesans, but none of the specialist courtesans?
Yeah, definitely none of the nobody who would speak with Hera is here. There are still some of the like the courtesan lecturers for the academy, but none of.
But the academy's shut and the entire cohort's been sent home.
Yeah, no, it's not taking any new students, and a lot of the lecturers, a lot of the teachers of the further through the advanced sort of teachers, the ones who have probably trained at the original courtesan academy and come to Coriolis, they're not here either. So you get you set up like you reach out and you try and talk to these people, and there are probably folks that Shanaz has spoke with before. Like there's always like the secretary or the administrator so and so who's been there for years. They'll continue to be there because that's who else could manage 5,000 courtesans' diaries and meetings of dignitaries and arrange for people to arrive when no other clashes are, you can't have them sat on table 4 with them because of that thing that happened 6 years ago. And also we can't serve soup from Mira because they don't like, and it will, that sort of thing. They're all there and they're all a bit like, yeah, I'm really sorry, but the lecturer you're after is not available. They've had to take some time off, or they're just off Coriolis at the moment. I know and they're giving no reasons because they don't know
the reasons, probably.
Yeah, they don't know the reasons.
Is this a first come versus Zenithian thing? Is there a clear split?
It's more like old guard versus new guard. Like like where you were trained, or who trained you, or who your sort of appointments are given by. It's like the subtle politics of courtesan. That folks who just see the courtesan as like this generic kind of pretty people. There is very like subtle and detailed. That is obvious to Shanaz, but not to most folks. Just because not all of these folks. I guess it's a bit like I was trained by Lucy, who was trained by Joanna, who was trained by Sarah, but somebody else doesn't have that lineage, even though they're an older kind of courtesan. They've been trained in the different.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's your school. It's which school you went to, and who trained you, and who you know. Yeah, that kind of politics.
That kind of politics. And a lot of the folks are just giving polite reasons for them not being in the office, or those who are here have had to take up a lot of the slack for all the other people not being here, and therefore they're like, look, I really wish we could clear this off, but I've got, you know, a meeting, and I've got an agreement, and I've got to teach 4 back-to-back lectures as well on hand movement in the such and such dance and that kind of thing, that sort of stuff. So everybody's a bit like, it's not to be rude, Shanaz, but just can't fit you in the diary today. But we'll have tea.
Of course we will.
3 days time. 3 days time.
3 days time. Yeah, if we're still here in 3 days time. So we got no one at the top. Basically, there is no one steering this ship.
No.
Oh dear, that's not good. All right, what about the guildies then? The ones who have qualified and are out and about doing stuff that I was trying to forge into a little collective to support one another.
So yeah, you had like this last sort of meeting before we went off to Debaran and got stuck in Gina. So there's a small kind of core of those folks who are still meeting at weird wee hours of the day and night kind of thing when it fits in between other stuff. And that's still sort of going on. When you reach out to 1 or 2 of them, they're like, oh, yes, come join us. We would love to have you come back. We're not as big as we were just before you left. A lot of folks have either left appointments, engagements with some of the people who have left Coriolis. Also, some of them have gone home. Not everybody has stayed. And doing the maths, doing the family tree kind of thing, those ones who have left trace their stuff back to not Coriolis trained, but Mira trained, kind of thing. So there's definitely like factional lines being drawn even in the Alarm's temple, even in the
Oof, that's not good.
Yeah, even in the courtesans. So there's that kind of stuff going on, but they're all up for you coming along, sitting down, having some food, and that kind of stuff, talking about what's been happening in this past.
Yeah, that's like one of the other things. That was the meeting there. It was what's been going on while I'm not here. What's the story on Coriolis? Who's doing what to who knows what about who, who goes where on their holidays? Just sort of getting the dirt on every kind of power move that's going on.
Yeah. The biggest sort of thing is it seems like the trade routes and things are being blocked. There's the consortium are having a few problems in a few different places. Travel the Sadal route and travel to Mira is becoming more difficult. There is talk about Corsair activity around Hamara Station. There is rumors of a Neo-Zenithian flagship going out to protect because the colonial agency just can't hold their own. The Coriolis council seat that's empty because of the emissary that died is still empty, and it's like, well, that sort of a lot of folks were like, the emissary represented, the people. Emissary never cast a vote. Emissary just turned up and observed, but without that impartial, holy observer, like the council now, is that corrupt? Is that, all kinds of different spins on it, but that seat is very hotly coveted by a whole bunch of people. What else? Docking fees on Coriolis's have increased 25, 50, 100, 200%. Deaths among the stevedores and the stevedore akbars and the dockhands and the net have increased because traffic has increased, because there's just more people coming in, because of the aforementioned corsairs being more active, trade routes being blocked, so people are coming back to Coriolis to sell rather than having to go out in individual ships, pass their goods onto bigger ships, which might have a better chance of getting past blockades, pirate activity, and so on and so forth. Apparently, there's been zero communication between Coriolis and Zelos since the Ima Lat was destroyed. Like zero. Not even like a let's try and negotiate or talk it, like nothing. And there are a few people who are like, I've got business interests out there, I need to get contacts, and a lot of the sort of courtesan folk are like, even my contacts who I might have been able to help get somebody through, or, you know, talk to people, zero, nothing, nada. A lot of the people who would have been using the Samaritans, that hospital which we saw burn down.
They're totally not the pariah, honest Gov.
Well, they were the pariah. They were just like the good face of the pariah. They did a lot of good on Coriolis, which is, you know, very opposite to how they are seen in most of the Horizon as religious zealots. But as that's burnt down and is not operating, there is a lot of folks arriving and a lot of folks who were gaining free treatment, unable to get the medical attention they need. Medical costs of the Medicurge who are on Coriolis is skyrocketed, which again has made more the stevedores and the general folks in Coriolis who don't earn enough to cover that, again a like cross, because the work has gone up, like, and the fees have gone up, but none of it is sort of coming back. It's capitalism, man. None of it's coming back, so there's more tensions with that, and that kind of stuff is going on. So yeah, everybody, like, you meet, and as you're having, like, you know, tea, baklava, foot rubs,
so basically it's really shit and nobody's happy.
Yeah, nobody is happy. Like, the whole Horizon seems to be at each other. And yeah, everybody's grumpy.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Aging council in ours.
I mean, there is a little bit of me that wants to just walk into that council meeting and sit in the seat.
Sit in the emissary seat.
Just to see what would happen, but I'm not there yet. So I have a plan.
When that happens, me and Yusuf were doing the Bill and Ted thing with the excellent. Probably right behind you, dead awkwardly.
In your knitted spacesuit.
Oh yes.
Jezebel Nialis of the Free League will consent to a meeting, but it's one of those, like, if you meet me at Turbo Lift 4, we'll have a
walking meeting.
We'll have 7 minutes from, you know, level 7 to level 88 and conference room 66, you know, that kind of meeting. Or she can have a longer meeting, but that will be in a couple of Coriolis days.
I'll do the quick meet. That's fine. And when meeting her, it's very much to suggest that she supports the formation of new guilds and unions on the station as much as possible, that I would be happy to give my support in what ways I can, that I understand that the stevedores are forming a union, yes, that it would be certainly in her best interest to aid and support them in doing so, and that a new guild is potentially forming among some of the courtesans on Coriolis, and that they would be willing to, if, you know, the trade-off.
Yeah.
We don't mind standing up for you if you don't mind standing up for us.
I mean, yeah. So Jezebel, she's like, this is very much exactly what the Free League is all about. We are a collective of hundreds, thousands of different voices across the horizon who have no collective volume without each other. It's curious that I thought the courtesans were always to be impartial and apart. Is that not?
Absolutely. They are indeed supposed to be impartial and apart, but that, I think, has been a way of using us to create a wedge, but taking away our voice. Our voices are to sound nice. They're not to serve political ends, is what the motion there is to achieve. Now, obviously, there's nothing official going on with the courtesans yet. However, there is a small group that may be able to get you some information that could be of use and support to you from time to time.
Not spies, though.
Oh, of course not. No, but courtesans hear a lot, see a lot, and are oftentimes ignored.
Such a lonely life.
Quite, yes. Having a friendly ear is always useful to someone in that position.
And you can already see, like, in this, very smart. She's older than Shanaz, so she's 23. No, she's probably more like 60, 70. She is quite an older lady. Still very smart, very put together. Like, she is like got like this small entourage of folks around her who are handing and that kind of stuff and pressing buttons and that kind of thing, showing her tabulars and like talking half in code and jargon, sometimes not in Zeni. They're speaking like one of the other small, like more local dialects from a different parts of the horizon, whereas Zeni is basically like common. And saying it, so it's clear like this woman is very intelligent, very like fingers in many pies, and surprisingly easy to get along with. As you take this like brief kind of move, she's like, I've heard about there's a certain donation to the Black Hands just last night. I think they might be close to reaching their entrance to the Council of Thousands. Be very interesting to see what's going on with them in the morning. And as she looks at like the watch and steps out, so I look forward to that on the bulletin in a few moments. Hey, and she reaches over to you, shakes your hand, appropriate sort of parting gesture, and gives you like her contact, or at least her like admin direct link, rather than having to go through the Free League sort of thing. Perhaps in a few in a short while we'll be having a longer, more fuller meeting, Shanaz.
I shall look forward to it.
From media darling to political figure. What a wonderful story for the bulletin. And she nods, and as she heads off. You're left there either on the landing or in the lift, and you can already hear them talking like, okay, we've got this meeting in 2 minutes, but we've got a strict hour max. Do not. And she's like, okay, yeah, hour, this kind of stuff, and I need the information on that ready for me to go into this sort of stuff and that kind of stuff, and you set up a call with so and so and that kind of stuff. And she like moves off down the corridor, and you can see like we're further up into like the sort of administration levels, areas of Coriolis. So there's like adjudicators and their judges moving around, people getting ready to go down a level to a public court, some people going off to talk to different people and that kind of stuff. And it's possibly not a place Shanaz has spent much time, but it's certainly not a place she's never been. Like, just sort of, okay.
Adaptability is key as well.
Mm-hmm.
Walk around with a piece of paper, look harried.
Mm-hmm. have your tabula and keep ticking at it. Tick, tick, tick. Yeah. Yusuf, so you partied. How late did you party?
I mean, I got a bit carried away, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all screaming like freedom and fuck the rich, and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
towards the end of the night.
Take on multi.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You were introduced to one of the Black Hands sort of higher like one of the first people to be like, fuck this, let's organize kind of thing. Let's get together. I've got this kind of stuff. A lady called Zahira Lakabai. Zahira Lakabai. And she is like, she's a stevedore. She's stevedore Akbar. She runs a team of stevedores. She looks after her crew kind of thing, and she's always talking about like how like her crew is not just the 6 folks who run, side docking port 28B on level 60. It's not just those 6 who handle those shipments. It's all of the stevedores, and not just here on Coriolis. We should talk to the ones in the Monolith and the Kua, and then she starts reeling
across the whole horizon.
Yeah, she starts reeling off like all the different big.
I'm gonna get it. I'm like, I'm loving it. Great.
Yeah, she's going on and on about this and how like Coriolis is just the first step. You can't imagine how much your donation means to them. And that kind of stuff, and she's really like as you get further and further into whatever,
she realized I'm not some big donor. Like I've given all the money I can.
The whale.
Yeah, no, but like you have to like.
She's genuinely
6,000 bear, was it in the
end? Yeah.
Like most donations have been like, I've got
50. Yeah,
50 bear. I've got 200 bear, but I better be put on like reduced threat shifts because if I break my leg, I've got no money to cover it. That kind of stuff. And
I'll say to her, so when you're going on strike,
and she raises her finger. She's like, the thing though, isn't it? What do they do if we go on strike? It stops all the trade. Coriolis itself stops.
Exactly.
So
you have the power.
No, and she does that thing, and she like reaches, she like slams the table, and she's like, "No, I don't have any power. We have the power."
And I wave at I like gesture. I like you. I don't mean you.
She's like, and
I wink.
Yeah. She's like, and then more booze and people like it's like
What's the first law you're going to put in when you join the thing of thousands? What law are you going to go for?
And she's like, it's a bit sad, but I just want healthcare.
I'll drink to that.
Healthcare, and then we'll do wages. We'll do death.
And dental.
Well, of course. And then we'll do death in service, and all the things she's listing off are. Really...
What about holidays? Do you get like paid holiday?
And there's like some folks who
parental leave,
holidays, parental leave, maternity leave, that kind of stuff. All these basic sort of stuff.
Can you tell my captain about all this? I could do with a day off at some point.
Like, and that kind of stuff. And you can already hear like some folks being like, I don't think they'll go for holidays. Right? That kind of stuff. People already bartering themselves back down a level because they don't want to push it. That kind of stuff. And she's like, oh, like that kind of stuff.
I will try and I will try and get any information they know about the higher ups, because we said a load of people had sodded off, and evacuated and left. And if there's anything that they've heard, because obviously they sort all the ships out.
Yeah. So
I try and remember to do this when I get drunk with them, and they kind of let down their.
Okay. So yeah, there's loads of folks coming in. Cargo has increased. So a lot of the warehouses on Coriolis are full because they wanna instead of small groups of folks going out, they want to just put it on big ships that can have a colonial agency or some, a legion or some sort of easier military kind of protection. And then obviously there's a difference in agencies, like some of the Zenithians and some of the hegemony are all like, well, we don't have stakes in that trade route, and so there's a lot of bargaining over trade route rights and who's in charge of this. And if the colonial agency can't look after their own colonies, maybe they need to join, and that sort of stuff.
If we had a slice, we'd give a shit.
A lot of that going on, which just leads to like warehouses full of like silk
stuff
being there, and that kind of stuff. So that also brings in a lot of syndicate. Like there are folks probably in this very room getting quite drunk with you all and talking about healthcare and that kind of stuff, who are also like, yeah, I can let you into warehouse 23. Yeah, no problem.
No.
Yeah, that kind of stuff and that kind of things and that sort of stuff is going. So there's more syndicate folk coming in. There's a lot more dangerous stuff going on. They're sort of talking about those folks are talking about how they reckon some of these corsairs, some of these pirate fleets are being paid for by other factions.
No.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure I heard some of these guys talking about how this stuff was going to such a pirate fleet instead of just being sold, because it was a payment, and not a payment from the syndicate, but like the colonial agency was sending it to this fleet.
It's all a fucking scam.
And that would increase pirate corsair activity on such and such a trade route, which will put such and such a faction in bad light, which will mean that they'll get that kind of stuff. And it's those kind of conversations.
Pirates sounds very exciting to Yusuf as well. That kind of, you're drunk, people are talking about pirates, and you're like, fucking hell, pirates, cool. Who knows about the pirates? Like
everybody's like, of course, that kind of stuff. There's talks. There's talks about some folks selling a lot of long life, like not long life, like the stuff like that the colonial agency uses to set up colonies, like emergency rations, water for
dog milk,
gun shells,
water reclamation stuff, things like a massive load of those being sold to a nomad fleet. Like one of the nomad tribes have bought self-sufficiency stuff, which is unusual because the nomads don't like to go down. The whole point of them is they
don't settle.
Yeah, they don't settle.
But it looks like they've bought enough food to settle somewhere.
They've bought loads of.
Maybe they're just flying for a really long time.
So are they settling, or are they looking for
the fourth horizon? Fourth horizon.
That's that's the sort of station.
Cool. Fourth horizon. Pirates. I've got loads of stuff to tell the guys. This is awesome.
All this drunken gossip.
Yeah.
That Shanaz will be like, what? Pirate who? Like, tell me the family name again. I was like Kevin or something.
Pirates of the Fourth Horizon. It sounds like a real trashy novel, doesn't it?
That's an amazing title. That'd be awesome.
This is going to be
next
like
campaign from Free League. Pirates
Coriolis,
of the Fourth Horizon.
Coriolis romance novel with some guy on the front cover with impossibly sculpted pecs and not a speck of body hair.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of Mad Max style leather pirate.
Does Yusuf find a bunk or pass out on his on the table? What does he do? Like how
Up
drunk,
to you.
How drunk does
mind.
he get?
Well, he's not going to be, unable to function the next day, but he's going to get nicely drunk, and these are his people, figuratively.
Yeah.
And he will he will enjoy himself and probably just like fall asleep on a couch in a corner somewhere or something like that.
Yeah, so it gets to like quite an early or late point in the evening, and somebody's like, right, okay, down the corridor to the right, there's a bunch of hot bunks. Pick one of them. Probably got about half a shift before like the night guys come in and turf you out. But yeah, enjoy. There's a bathroom down.
You know who I am.
That kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, buddy, but you know that kind of stuff. Somebody you can feel them sort of like arm around your side, like, come on,
Yeah.
come on, King. That kind of stuff, and they sort of.
I will give Zahira Lakabai
Mm-hmm.
a talisman.
Oh, cool. Which talisman?
My I had a machine talisman. There you go.
Cool.
Written on my character sheet. Because I used my dice one I used in the temple.
In the temple.
But I have a machine talisman that is like a cog
Like
type
a little
thing.
cog, yeah.
It's not actually for the machine, it has the same
Yeah.
mechanical effect, but it looks like
Like a little
little
cog.
cogs.
And she takes it and she's like, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Good luck.
And she
Good luck.
puts it, ties it around a button or something so it hangs, it won't
Mm.
fall off and get lost, but also is safe kind of stuff. She puts it in a pocket.
Yeah.
She genuinely takes a moment to look at it and looks at you
Cool.
and then puts it in a pocket and then is like, and sleep well. Sleep well.
Yeah.
And
I probably fart when she whacks me on the back.
she's like, he's one of us. He's a real Steve dog. He's a real worker. They send you down the corridor and you like crawl into one of these, and it's probably still warm, right? Everybody, these things are like, like submarines.
Yeah. Someone's rolling out as I'm rolling in.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And that's like the
Pre-warmed bed. It's fantastic, Shanaz. You don't know what you're missing.
that's like the terrible sort of backdrop of what the Steve Dawes are like living through.
Exactly.
Like one
Do
person.
you really think
I'm going
Shanaz
through it
doesn't
with
know
them.
about pre-warmed
Pre-warmed
beds?
beds. Yeah, no, just of a different kind.
Very different style of pre-warming that bed's going
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
So you roll into bed, and I would like you to make a Mystic Powers roll.
Oh, hello. Oh, I need some dice. Don't know. Here we go.
Involuntary psychometry from some other dude's sweat.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's poetic.
Oh, I got a success.
Excellent. Okay. So
Just the one though.
while you're kind of like falling asleep, you can sort of hear this music, this kind of song, and you like in your sort of drunken, like alcohol half sleep kind of thing, you realize it's like it gets slightly louder anytime you sort of touch the like Coriolis itself, not the bed, but like the wall it's butted up against, that probably has the pipes and the conduits and that kind of stuff. So like as you sort of roll over and maybe put your head on the cold wall sort of thing, it gets louder. But in that sort of
Turn the music off. I'm trying to get to sleep.
Yeah, in that weird space between like fully awake and partly asleep, you can hear this song, just on like this short sort of loop, going around.
Hum it.
Yeah. And you eventually sort of drift off to this track, this noise.
It's 80s dark synth.
Yeah, maybe. Somebody down the corridor who looks like Colonel Ty shouts something.
Yeah. Just like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
on
yeah.
the Watchtower vibe.
All along the Watchtower, yeah. No. But yeah, this song, like the volume increases as you sort of.
Okay. Well, I will make as much physical contact with it as I can.
Oh, okay.
Like roll across on the bed, so I'm like pressed up against the wall.
So as you sort of like listen and tune out the sound of somebody down the corridor throwing up, and somebody else like why are you all so drunk? I need some breakfast. You know, that kind of thing echoing.
The sounds of life.
Yeah,
Proper
the sounds of
life.
Steve Dawes Central sort of thing. People cheering as somebody makes toast, that sort of thing, because the party's still going on.
Toast.
Yeah, toast. Yeah. You can just on the very edge of like the song. It's almost like a weird spoken word, you know, like the way Leonard Nimoy or William Shatner.
Is it William Shatner?
Did like spoken
brilliant.
word over stuff.
Lucy in the sky.
Yeah.
With diamonds.
That kind of stuff. There's almost like a weird sort of spoken
voice in the background.
Voice in it. And it's like, I'm here for you all. I'm here, and we are your family. You are a child of my song. Come and find us, all of us together. And it's just that like weird,
just a weird voice talking to me in my sleep.
Yeah, weird, slightly creepy when you sit up and realize the sort of things that are saying. But as it's being said, it's like quite comforting in that sort of musical, slightly drunk, slightly sleepy. But like I imagine when Yusuf sits up in the morning, he's a bit like, well, it's up to, I guess it's up to Pete. It's up to you. What how
I had
Yusuf
a dream.
Yeah, but it's
that I had sex with the space station.
Maybe. Silsila, returning to your ship is fine. Leaving your ship and coming back into Coriolis, they make you go through basically immigration again. Like they won't accept your like stamped ticket, and they literally put you through all the immigration. It's like such an embuggerance.
Does that feel personal? Like the customs guard showing up and dishing out a random fine, or just the way things are at the moment?
No, this very much feels like personal.
That's good. It's nice to know you're pissed.
Like this, like, because I guess there's potentially like folks who have caught the same shuttle bus out to that part of the net as you, or that sort of thing, and you join the queue with them to go into Coriolis, and the guard, like the folks are like, no, it's flagged up, you have to go to that one. Like specifically you. Other people are going through the green channel quickly, and you're made to come out. And then you're not even put in like the fast, like that you're put to the back of the immigration queue, sort of work your way through. And then as you get to the front, they're like, oh, it says here you've got a pet. Where's your license for this? What is it? Lachma lizard? Have you got a license for it? I need the veterinary details.
Do I know if Kirsch has got rid of it already?
No, it was very much still on the ship when you were left.
Fair enough then. I'll say that's what I'm off to do now. I need to go and see someone to get the license for it.
And notes are made, kind of thing, and you eventually like get through. And none of it is. It's just enough to be like.
Oh, I imagine Silsil's just got a big grin, like he figured out what's going on. He's like, go.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like no worries at all whatsoever.
Okay.
Although obviously,
you could. I mean, it was just time, right? It just took time.
But today I have time.
Okay. Fair. Good point. So yeah. Do you all convene? Do you all get together on Coriolis and?
Magnificent late because I'd never expected it. Yes, I'll meet you there in 30 minutes.
Yeah, just like a normal, like, I'll get off the ship and I'll be there in an hour, has taken you twice as long plus change.
Well, I suppose we can catch up by just messaging.
Yeah. Also, just be like, I'll meet you a bit later.
Well, I'll tell them that it, like, for some reason, as in some reason, I've been removed from the queue, put to the back of the don't have papers, mate queue. And they keep asking about this license for the lizard. I actually don't know how Kirsch is going to get that lizard into Coriolis without a license. Other than, if she eats it first.
kebabs. But yeah, so we meet at the same sort of tobacco cafe or cantina or something we've done
I
before.
think I'll choose a different one. Those guys followed me there today.
Yeah, you did get followed
Can't
around.
make life that easy, can we?
No.
Did I tell the other two about that? If I didn't, I'll explain it. Like, someone was really shittily following me and did a panic when I just like sort of doorstepped them to ask them what was up.
Yeah, we've got some enemies. I don't want to say enemies straight away. There are some interested parties who are looking into us to varying degrees, as near as I can tell. But it's not just us, it's everybody. Everything is going very, very badly on the station or across the horizon. It sounds like we're gearing up towards war.
Are we all meeting up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I might turn up a bit later than the late Silsilla.
I'm not dead.
Like, and sort of like, Shinaz, what are the Pirates of the Fourth Horizon?
There is no Fourth Horizon. Pirates of the Fourth Horizon was a smutty romance novel.
Oh, okay.
Why are you
Weird.
asking about smutty romance novels?
Weird night with the Steve Doors. Great, good fun, I think.
I
yeah.
put in a word for you with Jezebel from the Free League.
Oh, cool.
He should expedite things on that front from the other end.
They're writing up a list of workers' rights and all kinds of stuff. It's great. I mean, they probably won't get it all, but they need to have a list, you know.
Always ask for more than you expect to get.
Exactly.
And put the unreasonable things at the top of the list.
And who knows, you know, in 20 years' time, it could be a fair deal for people. They've got to fight. Oh, I mean, how long has this been around like this? All this shit.
Coriolis year 63.
There you go.
Well, I'm sure they can do better.
Right. Before we plan the revolution, information first.
Coriolis spoke to me last night.
Like
That's a great way to lead.
I think it was Coriolis. Like, I was really drunk, but it was like, you know, the thing.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, sort of trying to do this bit quietly. It was through that. Came through the walls. Like when I touched the walls.
What did it say?
Like come and have a cuddle. I'm here to look after you. Come
please
to
be
us.
specific. Please be specific.
It was like the song thing, you know, the children of the song thing.
The song thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but like there's really a song.
Yes. Yeah.
Like really a song, not like
really,
come and listen to the song.
There
and they play
is
music.
really a song.
It's like there's really a song, it's vibrating through the station. So I kind of want to figure out where that's coming from.
You not want to figure out who?
Well, yeah, that as well, you know. But it felt nice. It felt like pleasant, and it's like from my limited experience, it's kind of hard to like pretend through that stuff. At least it is for me.
I mean, that sounds weird, but cool.
Yeah,
the limbic system of your brain is fundamentally positioned in such a way as to seek out comfort and affection. So an offer of comfort and affection is much easier to push through without question.
Yeah. I just it felt quite comforting and quite nice, and I've experienced many different minds, and
you know what?
They're mostly crap.
Even if Shinaz is right, you should definitely go and find out who wants to use like a sock puppet. And stop them, obviously.
carefully.
Yes. No.
Oh yeah. Well, like no, but like just find out some more. Like, there's this weird thing going on. People like me, and they're being taken advantage of or manipulated or subjugated in some way. It's not right. But there now I've heard this thing. It's like, well, hang on. It's like adds another. I don't know. It's getting all messy. It's getting complicated.
Would it be okay if I meet those guys who are following me again, and if they annoy me, I just say, my friend says the station speaks to him, just to see what they say? So
no, because they might pick me up and take me somewhere.
Oh yeah, I more wanted them to think I was just not worth bothering with, but yeah.
Yeah,
But,
like you're crazy. But
I
then
don't think there's anywhere for them to take you. That hospital burned down.
I mean,
oh yeah.
I don't think they're pariah. I suspect they're agency related.
No, I don't think. There's very few pariah on the station, and the ones that are very deep cover and spies.
Where is everyone?
Bob's gone to that meeting we went to. It was nice.
That's another thing. Silsilla, you're being followed. Do you know who by?
No, that's those. I even went and asked them. I think they're agency.
Classic Sil.
Well, first of all, I pretended to be poor so they could come and buy me a drink. And then when
Pretended.
Adia left, relatively, like I was counting coppers. And then I went and ordered like the most expensive thing so they could come and see if I would buy them a drink. And then when I left, they followed me and panicked when I saw them. And I was like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. So I just sat down next to them and they're like, oh, no, sir, I cannot drink with a stranger.
So
weird.
Colonial agency?
Probably.
I mean, unless it's an agency for idiots, that is my guess. But I don't know because, no uniforms, didn't get to steal wallets, didn't see what they were paying with. But they did. They relatively amateur. They literally almost panicked when they thought I was leaving, and then panicked worse when I immediately came back in because they didn't know what to do.
So we collectively and individually seem to be being followed.
I mean,
Tracked.
it might be the Berbicils. I think they're behind the customs thing and be waiting to get through for ages. I mean, I can go back to the same bar and see what happens, but I don't know. I didn't feel like they wanted.
The station's
Were you
singing-
followed from, like, you were held up, right?
Oh, actually, yeah. I didn't actually care to look, but I suppose that Silsilla might have done. I don't know.
Did you want to? Let's make an observation roll.
Okay, I'm rolling 4 dice. Oh, that's a success. I have a dolphin.
Let me just look at.
I'd be like, they're at that table there. Hi, guys.
The waiter is the guy.
Yeah.
This is Shanaz, have you met her? Did we do autographs and merch?
You went like nobody followed you, like you didn't have a tail. But you do remember, like, as you were walking, you definitely were clocked by a number of adjudicators going from one place to another. Like one of the party kind of turned around and was like,
Okay.
that kind of thing. And you're pretty sure you were watched through one of the plazas by the guards of that area.
That
in a
I will tell you that, actually, I thought they were just joker dickheads, but adjudicators were watching. They knew my face when I walked past them, which is levels more serious than some absolute half pints from the agency. I assumed it was a, hey, Silsilla, come and work for us again. But, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And, once you notice things, you have a tendency to notice them more. I swear to God, the guards were eyeballing me all the way across the plaza. But, for real, I walked past some educators, and they, side-eyed me and, watched me. And the same thing happened with another group, 10 minutes later. So, I might be in slightly more trouble than I believe.
Why you specifically?
I mean,
on paper, you're the captain of the ship. I understand that. But this seems to be more than just the interest in a ship's captain.
What we
Is there anything you haven't told us that we should probably know at this point, like you're wanted for murder on 7 systems or something like that?
I'm not Ponda Baba, so we're okay. Well, me and Yusuf did kill quite a few mercs, and we never did get a chance to figure out where they were from. Or maybe they were from Coriolis, who knows?
Even if they were, they wouldn't raise this level of interest. The Courtesan Academy is closed. They're not taking any new trainees. The entire cohorts got turned away, and most of the senior instructors have left. All the connected instructors are gone. Anybody who can trace their lineage.
What's going on?
Yeah, that sounds.
There are faction lines
unsettling.
drawing.
Yeah, but like everyone's like going off to their worlds, right?
What side are you on?
I heard about fucking nomads have just stocked up a shitload of food, and they're just like.
They're off to be the pirates.
No, they're off to the Fourth Horizon.
They're not off to the Fourth Horizon.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's a turn of phrase, isn't it?
They're
It's the
finding a
same.
hole to hide in.
Yeah, exactly. They're off to the
open.
Fourth Horizon. You know, they're off to fucking hide in the middle of nowhere until everyone calms down. No, the pirates that I remember. Oh, fuck yeah. The pirates are being paid by the bloody colonial agents to like stir shit up on certain trade routes so that it all messes. It's all a scam.
That's really not a surprise, though. That's what they've always done.
And there are other routes that have been closed.
Yeah, but like they're like.
No, there are some people who
Yeah.
are not letting certain traffic through some gates.
Like, in
And
order
yeah.
to fund itself, the agency's always had fingers in lots of slightly to very dodgy pies just to get money for the rest of the stuff they want to do.
To kind of like emphasize Shanaz's point, kind of thing, up on some of the big tabulas is like breaking news sort of thing. And as you sort of watch, you can see one of the bulletins reporters that normally are like sat behind a nice desk on Coriolis stood down in the Neoptra spaceport, and they've got like these drones as their camera shots. And it's like, what did they say? Oh, thank you, Jabal. It's a grim sight down here in the Neoptra. Bloodied, broken citizens whose only crime was free trade. Merchants and diplomats who've risked their lives with the Order's negotiators in the infamous city of foreigners. Some bear the marks of torture. We've heard several accounts of violence and spies already. Citizens of the Free Horizon are no longer safe behind the Martyr's Veil. Coriolis is calling back any trade registered here from Zalos immediately. And it's like, thank you, Ari. Well, we'll have more of that as it breaks. The Council of Coriolis has, and they go into like the rolling news kind of stuff of basically people have fled Zalos. The first wave of these refugees have arrived. Yusuf, as you're sat there, you're probably got like connections with other stevedores, or at least in those kind of group chat sort of things, and it's like all hands kind of calls coming out. We've got more waves of stuff coming in. There's people like the folks in these kind of conversations, like brownie emojis, that kind of stuff, and all that sort of stuff going on. So it's like the already busy work is now going to be multiplied, kind of thing.
I'm gonna WhatsApp Zahira Lakabai and just say something like, you need to get the council to prioritize those refugees and push back everybody else. Everything's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, it like you send it and you can see it's red, but obviously she doesn't respond. She's probably got, aside from her little crew, she's now somehow a union organizer, which is that kind of stuff. And but there is like this all hands like must turn up. People who don't turn up for this extra shift in the next 2 hours will be cut from the roster, kind of thing. And no payments, no that sort of stuff, rather than what most folks would be expected, like turn up and get double pay. This is like bad shitty threats of no job, shitty labor relations that up until this point in time none of the stevedores would have had any say with. You can see like folks around, because we're potentially in a nicer kind of plaza, folks around here already like, oh, I wonder if I should book my room longer. I don't want to be kicked out. I wonder if I should, that kind of stuff. People like on calls to boarding houses, places to stay, moires and that kind of stuff, booking rooms, kind of doing stuff. And already like those tickers, like rooms available at this place, 30 bear a night, already they're like ticking up as well, like 50 nights because they're booked in more and all that kind of stuff. It's almost like this ripple across Coriolis now that it's been announced on the bulletin thing.
Sorry, tell us where the prior homeworld is.
Yes. Where the order of the it from the sort of rolling news that's on in the background, they've literally kicked everybody out. And those who are the first wave who have escaped and preempted this, like there are pictures of people with like torture scars, like interrogation sort of stuff.
Now,
Flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They look fucking chirpy giving the news of these refugees on the. Sorry, Sil.
Like these pariah guys are starting to really get on my nerves. Like, first all the stuff with the mystics, then they try and burn down the hospital with all the stuff in it. Then they try and start a war, and then they do start a war. And they close the portals with them.
Like, what's the fucking problem, man? It's like, come on.
I think they're being used. They're a blunt instrument. This smacks of them being a tool of someone that we already know that there are much worse things out there than them. Much worse things.
You mean things, right?
I mean things. And I literally mean things. We've seen things that other people on the horizon wouldn't believe.
Yeah, but like to leverage a whole faction.
It's easy.
Like, no, but like I could understand. Like, no, but like, what stage shouldn't it break down, man? If like they manipulate the top 10 guys, but they order 100,000 people to go and kill 500,000 people, why don't those people say no?
Because they don't manipulate top 10 guys. It's giving me an idea.
You can manipulate the top 12.
You're not wrong. No, you don't.
That's why you're the boss, Sil.
Exactly,
you don't manipulate one.
It's all about the big numbers, Yusuf.
Or 10. You manipulate the idea. You manipulate the truth that the people follow. And when the people follow the truth, the manipulation goes along with it. Memeturgy.
We're going to win with memes.
Are you 4chan?
Yeah, you might not understand quite what I mean.
I'll let you casting memes out. Memeturgy, that sounds like some weird magic shit.
Are you not familiar with the shipboard weapon of the meme thrower?
Can we buy one here?
Yes, we can. They're
great.
expensive and they're damaging. And
less great.
And Alarm's Temple are very good at them.
And they make wonderful weapons. And the ones that they're talking about there are based on some very old verbal designs that I'm not supposed to have the kind of clearance to talk about, but I think I know how to make them.
That's good, because Stilla's fairly lost in this, but pariahs suck. Let's do something about it.
Pariah bad,
about weapons.
Poisonous idea. They've weaponized a thought. That's why they're going along with it, because the thought itself is the problem. The pariah are a lost cause. They're a blunt instrument being used to hammer away at something in the corner so as to distract attention from something else.
Yes, I get this.
It's exactly what we do.
Maybe when you drive the bus somewhere and the loud people with guns get off, maybe there's something else to do in the sort of HVT arena that they don't notice because the big people with guns are over there.
Maybe while two loud drunk men poke around inside a canteen and steal a coffee machine,
Did not steal.
Someone else steals 500,000 burrs worth of mine shares from an idiot in exchange for a plastic sword.
The only good thing for the poor mine lord is his
resin.
His sort of fraud. This sort of like bad press for him is going to get buried under all the like Zalos is closed. he looked out there. Like,
I would imagine.
Well, we've done the thing that they're doing, but they've been doing it for longer and they've been doing it better. We just need to up our game.
Okay.
Sure.
We're not going to bring down the pariah by ourselves.
No.
Oh, that dragon.
No.
But we've got bigger concerns than the pariah. The dragonfly ships, the Vestals, the Nazarene cults.
Like more than one is like, what the fuck is going on? And all of this at the same time. It's like
They're the same thing.
no, I know, but it's like
Let's do the cult, like the dragonfly things. I mean, Vestal. I mean, that almost killed us. At least maybe if the cult powers the other stuff, then those are just people, right? We can do people.
what if they're mind bullet people?
So are you.
Some of them will be.
I don't do mind bullets.
Oh, well, I've got real bullets.
Well, I mean, that helps.
The mystic disease is new as well.
It's not a disease.
Apologies. I know it's not a disease. You know it's not a disease. But
Sorry,
it is
I
viewed-
reacted. I'm hungover.
It's fine. It's fine.
Not,
It's
I'm
a
not.
new thing. This is a new phenomenon. We
Sure.
have not had access to that, and it appears now at just this time.
And I got to tell you, I'm slightly scared by it in my own self because it's changing all the time. And like it's opening. And it's pretty scary.
Okay.
I'm going to go away from them for a few minutes
okay,
and get a drink of something.
you walk
and
off and
sort of
go for a normal wee,
a
a human wee.
human way.
So as Yusuf kind of gets up and goes to the bar, again, like the beautiful session for shit going on in the background, like the rolling news kind of breaks to the reporter who normally, like, you know, the balcony that would watch over the Coriolis Council kind of thing, and he's there and he's like yet again trying to take advantage of the generosity of Coriolis. The Free League have chosen to nullify all favourable contracts drawn up during the very foundation of Coriolis, trade and work agreements bound into the very core of our laws in this beautiful station. Word is coming in of the monopolistic demands made by the stevedores, Akbars, harbour masters of Coriolis around the station. Customs fees, labour fees are going to rise. They are demanding that we pay for their medical and life insurance.
They're a call-in number to the news channel.
Let's do it.
We've got Yusuf on line one.
Yeah. So, and it goes on like, and this is all with the Free League's blessing. Desseran Kai debating with the faction spokesperson, Niales, out of chamber as we speak. And it's just like, it's...
I'm going to throw something at that screen.
Yeah.
I'm like...
And there's like a bunch of people who are like, hey, what? You know, that kind of stuff. And like the canteen owner is like, okay, not rolling news. Tensions are and he puts on like, I don't know, lizard fighting or lizard racing.
Yeah. What was that game we made up in the other one? What was the...
Yeah, it was like lizard racing or something.
It was lizard racing, wasn't it? Yeah.
I imagine it's like greyhound racing, but with lizards, that kind of stuff.
I imagine there's some sort of maze involved.
Yeah. But yeah, they put up that
with mini portals
and like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like the betting odds roll on the side and you know, in table tabulas turn to like you can bet 50 bear on this and 50 bear on that and that goes on and everybody's like stink eyes Yusuf as he comes back from the bar kind of thing, but yeah.
Oh, they give me...
Only because
we're in a slightly posher area of town as
you
well,
like,
aren't we?
you know, you caused a scene at the not
Oh,
because
okay,
of
right,
who you
yeah.
are, more in like
I'll give you
what a
such
rabble
big
rouser.
high five, because I won't understand that. I just think
Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely like the
I feel like I
bulletin.
need some sort of big standard, and I should like a big flag, and I should be like charging through the streets and singing things in French. You know.
I think you've got horse for that. It's quite fun. All right then. So, like, what do you want to do, Shanaz? I mean, we've got all this stuff going on. I feel like, you know, the cult. We could probably do something about the cult. Maybe Yusuf wants to go on station.
This is going crazy.
Like, oh yeah.
We do this on a local level. We do this on our level first. So, Yusuf, you're already embedded with the stevedores. Stay embedded with the stevedores. Try and keep everything down there as calm as you can. And keep an eye out for agitators who will turn up to make them look bad.
Sure. Yeah, bad faith, that, you know, it's like, but look, I've got to tell you, I'm not sure how long I could keep them calm.
They don't have to stay calm forever. I just want you to try and do what you can to avoid outright bloodshed.
Absolutely. But there's like, oh man.
Silsilla, you need to go to work on the Colonial Agency, find out if it is them that are trying to get in touch with you, who's doing what, and what the hell is going on there, why you're suddenly a target of interest. We need to know that, because if that's going to be a problem, we need to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm very curious why adjudicators are sort of eyeballing me. Like, no one was reaching for a gun or anything, but I'm on a list.
And we need to get Kirsch to lose the lizard.
I mean, I in all honesty, with all respect to Kirsch, if we buy her a capybara, she'll put it out the airlock in exchange.
True.
She won't think twice about it.
If we buy her a George Foreman grill, she'll have it for dinner.
Whatever happens, we need that thing gone, because they're using it as a leverage and an excuse. And if things keep going the way they're going, I predict that we have 2 days before animal control come on board our ship to try and remove the dangerous creature.
Which by that point will include Kirsch.
Yeah, the lizard's got to go, and I'm sorry about that. But we can't give them any more excuses. We need to...
I could buy it a license, but, you know, we can just ditch it. All right, then. One giant barbecue, one capybara.
Yeah. And we need to get the ship cleaned as well.
Kirsch will be okay, right? You know.
Yeah.
She doesn't want the lizard. She wants a capybara in exchange.
I know she wants a capybara.
I think she wants to trade. So just giving her a capybara won't do it.
No, go and just say to her, you need to give me your lizard. I can trade it in for a capybara. You then stick the lizard down a hole.
Just let it loose in the bowels of Coriolis.
Just chuck it out
of the adjudicator's office. I know I can't.
Give it to the stevedores. They can have it as a mascot for their freedom.
I mean, we could do that, but it probably eats 6,000 bear worth of food in a week.
Yeah. Can we just cook it?
Just get rid of the lizard. Whatever it takes.
A heavy
Make
crate
the
accident.
lizard not be a problem anymore.
All right.
Poor Kirsch.
I will message Kirsch that we need to trade the lizard straight away. I will meet her and I'll go with her if she likes.
Okay.
I'm going to reach out to Shadi Batenden and see if I can get a handle on, despite the network's take on news, and if they've got any information that's of any use to us.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get to work on plan B. But we also need the ship cleaned out, properly cleaned, you know, like professionally cleaned. Fumigated, maybe.
Fumigated. All right. So Silsilla's going back to the ship.
No, I'm going to message Kirsch.
Oh, you want Kirsch to meet you at a dock?
Like, wear a hooded robe, come and meet me. We need to do the lizard trade today.
Okay. Kirsch is like, sure. Yes.
Be free.
I have a lizard box. It
great.
looks suspiciously like some of the inside of the ship, but you should just ignore this.
Is it a bit of the ship I will miss?
You never noticed the parts before. It's from low down.
Sure, why not? Do we need to buy anything to trade with, or is the lizard in itself?
Oh no, lizard is good value.
Okay.
Slaps the side of the lizard. Good value in lizard. Yes.
Okay, because there's the lizard's kind of being used as a reason to look at us. So trade the lizard today. Everyone likes capybara, so you know.
Okay, we need to go to cellar. You have a route to cellar, yes?
Sure.
Good. Okay.
I don't, but I'll find out by the time she gets to me.
All right, so she's going to meet you at an airlock or a docking bay or something. All right, so you're going to go off and do that. Yusuf, PT, Shanaz, you want to set up some meetings again?
I want to go and talk to Shadi.
Attending. Okay, so you want
Yes.
to go to Aishan's Emporium and on the station and see what is. Yeah, they're happy to. Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
A bunch of auctions going on still, so there's ample time, and you can head down and check that out. Shadi, in like the sort of, what would it be, like the VIP sort of meeting room, this room with like pillows and low tables and beautiful drapes and that kind of stuff going on. She sits down and she's like, I was wondering when you would drop by. We have some wonderful items for purchase. How is the horizon at large?
It's a mess. It's a horrendous mess, and it's getting worse.
I have heard. We were concerned about the trade coming in from Zalos. Suddenly there is a very strange desire for them to lock down, kick people out. More xenophobic than normal.
They have, according to the news from just now, they have shut down.
Yes, I saw. I can never trust the bulletin though. It's always full of
questionable content.
Yes. Where is it? Where is my bit of news? Come here. I think there's a lot of friction between the hegemony and the consortium. And I also heard that there was a glitch in a data port just before, and she's just before the altercation in Coriolis space. You were here for when they blew up the Immahalat.
Yes.
No, not when the Immahalat blew up the Zenithian ship.
Yes, I remember.
I have heard, and I've had nobody able to go out and confirm this, that the data relay, in one of the sectors didn't forward its message. Like, I've heard rumors and strange conversations about how the Zalosians pre-warned that they would be arriving to evacuate their people. And it didn't get through, which, if it had, might have led to them not being exploded in raining down upon Kua. My question is, was it the consortium or the Gemini? Was it somebody else? Who would? I mean, there's a lot of folks who would directly benefit from the horizon at each other's throats, but which one would go that step first? I haven't had any.
I don't think it's either of those organizations in front of the issue. I think there is another party trying to manipulate things. I don't have a lot to go on yet. What do you know about the Courtesan Academy closing?
Well, it's strange because they've stopped accepting, like, they've not sent the later years home, but they haven't accepted any New Year's intake. I don't think anything's happening on Mira. I think they're still accepting for the new new educational year, but it's interesting that they seem to be evacuating Coriolis. Like,
What about other first come factions?
she sort of sits and thinks and like, I haven't pulled all those strings together. I've been too busy wondering about anyway. But we could look into it. I
think it's worth investigating because somebody seems to be pulling strings to manipulate the whole horizon. A long game, a very long game.
And she laughs and she's like, I always thought it was the courtesans who were manipulating the whole horizon.
Of course, but for purely selfish reasons.
Well, for once in our life, it feels like there is too much news even for the network.
The worst part of it may still be to come. It feels to me as though some of the biggest news is going to be unbelievable.
And she's like, I'm pretty sure some of the news we broke about the Ghazali was unbelievable. But I mean, what have you found out? Where do you need support to go?
I have rumors, I have suppositions, hints, nothing concrete, nothing useful. I could do with an excuse to go to Mira. That would be wonderful, but that's kind of a selfish thing to do. I don't know what you've heard about resurgent cults or...
Oh, so many.
Yes.
It's a hobby in the horizon, isn't it? And she lists off a bunch of like, little things and daft stuff. Not like none of the stuff she says, like she is not aware of Nazarene stuff. Like
No, I don't mean fringe religions. I mean old faiths.
And we have a number of sources around. I could reach out. Might take a few days though from here.
The only trouble you're going to find is that it's going to sound unbelievable. Most of the things that probably the most useful information will be the least believable.
She smiles and she's like, I mean, doesn't everybody say that about the network? Everything we broadcast is unbelievable.
True.
She does like, Mira, leave it with me. I will see if I've got some contacts or something to give a plausible reason to head out that way. And she taps on a data pad. And she's calling somebody. And they come after like a few moments, and they bring you all. Or they bring you all. So they bring Shanaz. Five beautiful, like beyond general kind of purchase Dabaran robes, like beautiful indigenous home Dabaran silks and embroidery and that kind of stuff. She says, as a thank you for finding the children, our patron has sent these to Coriolis for you. If you would like to arrange for a tailoring for you and your crew, we can have them fitted appropriately. They are cut generally right now, and essentially like tailoring included, so you can have these fabulous Dabaran robes as a thank you.
They poisoned.
No, because Shadi has given you them. Like,
I was like,
if you remember, Shadi asked you to go there to find these kids for somebody as a favour.
I know, but I've read Children of June.
Yes, but there's also a lion.
Yeah, remote-controlled tiger coming after us because we're wearing them.
Yeah.
That's very kind. I'm very grateful. No, I don't think she'd stitch us up, and so yes, we will arrange a time to get measured.
Yeah.
And I will make Silsila and Yusuf deeply uncomfortable with the extravagance of these outfits.
It does seem a little incongruous, doesn't it? Everything's fucked. Here's a pretty dress.
But no, it's it's literally a thank you from the persons whose children you saved. Literally a gift.
Because the order we've done things, hasn't it?
Yeah. Where is this? But yeah, she's like, leave it with me. I can see what's happening and see what I know about Mira. I can find you a plausible reason to head out there if you need, and that kind of stuff. Is there anything else like you want to ask her to kind of gather for you, or?
Probably. I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Plus, how do you turn around to like your contact and subtly say, I want dirt on all of the council?
You're probably better doing that amongst the courtesans. Like, yeah. If you're, because she will have some credible stuff.
But most of it will be ridiculous, whereas the courtesans are more likely to give useful info. Yeah.
Like the Red Spider are very good at things away from the bulletins kind of grip. Like,
it's the weird stuff. It's the cult stuff. That's what we want from her the most then.
Okay. She will just start pulling in information and stuff. You'll probably get like a dozen weird context emails and that kind of stuff. All right, there is something for Mira I will have for you shortly. But she probably helps you arrange tailoring times and that kind of stuff, and I'll go back and get you all the further stuff. Yusuf, what does Yusuf do?
Yusuf is going to head towards the stevedores and be contacting them, trying to send the message to say, just seen some bad shit on the news. Watch out for bad actors. Turn up, join in the ranks, and chucking Molotovs and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, you're going to warn them of that kind of thing.
Going to warn them, and I think on the way towards them, might see if I can find any children of the song.
Okay. So,
being distracted by the song itself.
Like, as you head to like towards all the places where the stevedores is, also all like the cheapest parts of Coriolis.
Yeah.
And it's like packed for Coriolis, full of like folks, like refugees everywhere, and some places are like, come in, we'll we've got like space, we've got more cushions out. Other places are like, no, we're shut. Like it's almost like a 50 split. Like some places, and you can see like even in a place like the poor, the cheap towns of Coriolis, they're already being like these factional little like we don't care or we care too much kind of situations.
Yeah.
You move further through, into like Stevedore Central. You start hearing and like. There's arguments going on about, I've already done a double shift. My crew need their rest, that kind of thing. There's already those sort of stuffs going on. And as you get like partway to Stevedore Central, like the hub where like shifts are issued, like the Akbars come in and update, and you can see like the big boards of where things are being routed through and how this warehouse is, that kind of stuff. There is a moment that causes like almost everybody in these down below sort of areas to stop as like the boards go green, and then it starts calling for like medic crews, first response crews, and they're all being directed to a docking area, like some sort of.
Fine.
And people like
Accidents happen.
Yeah, like a big.
What's going on? Get on a news feed or something, or a.
Yeah, and you look over like all the news on Coriolis is controlled by the Bulletin, which in turn is sort of fed from sort of.
What about the Red Spider Network?
But they don't have anything on Coriolis. Like the Bulletin sort of quash it like that. That's their monopoly on the thing. They are. Which gives them a level of authority that most folks don't like outside of Coriolis. Everybody in Coriolis just accepts it. So like scrolling through these sort of feeds quickly is nothing. But you can see like people are sort of like, okay, right, I can send 5 people from here. We'll cover that bit to get, these medics from there, get them down to and they're all routing to like a lower level of.
I'll follow them.
Yeah, so you run with these through, and there's got to be a point where like somebody hands you maybe like a bunch of air canisters, like that kind of stuff, and you're just like, all right, I'm joining in, and like you start sort of heading and running down with these folks, and they head down to one of the lower docking bays, and you can see like the blast doors, like these old doors of what would have been like airproof sort of sections of the great ship sort of clamped down, and people be like, no, like I know a way around. I know if we crawl through this space here, then we can cut behind it. And then other people being like, no, the whole section is gone. Like,
what?
There's no people to save. They're all in orbit. We don't need medics anymore.
What the? How did that happen?
And folks like the people who've like put safety jacket, like first responder jackets. Like I'm the event manager, that kind of health and safety stuff. We need Jim to go through this with me. He's better at that kind of stuff. But these guys are all like, look, we don't know what's happened yet. There has been some sort of accident. What happens when folks get tired? It's what what we're trying to get involved with, that kind of stuff, and you can see like as you get like past,
trying to
the flashing lights, there's a whole section of Coriolis now. You can see space, and in a couple of minutes, Kua sort of rotates through as the Coriolis spins, kind of thing.
That's not like an accident handling luggage. And that's a fucking like engine core explosion.
And the guys, like, they're not trying to obfuscate or...
Okay,
but
they just don't know.
They don't know, and their priority is more like...
I'll be like, fine, cool.
Like, we need to make sure more people don't go out there and get hurt.
There's like a docking level?
There's like all over the hull, all over the
Sure,
exterior.
but is there any kind of like authority office...
Stevedore Central is probably like the most kind of place, and then there will be like... there isn't I
can take some pictures. Yeah,
kind of thing, and there are people like crying. There are some people like shouting, like seriously angry at everything, because these are all stevedores. It's stevedores who's been killed here. It's not that kind of stuff. And some people are angry, some people are crying, some people are like, but I know people on this shift, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, use it, man. We got to fight the system. Come on, we got to go.
Like the powers that be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's all this kind of, and in turn, like, Silsila, you get a message from Kirsch. It's like, bus is stopped. Everybody hates me because the lizard smells. I'm just in the net. Help.
Okay. I'll ask her if she knows where she is.
Like she's on docking pylon 29. We were picking up some people here, but now we're stuck outside because the bus has stopped.
Okay, I don't know if Silsila would know anyone will ask. So I'm gonna find the nearest colonial space agent.
You want to go and find an office
It's the
somewhere?
only thing I have, I think. So
Okay. So there's
I can't fly out
probably
to meet.
some board rep being like sat there, there's a recruitment video for like found a colony in the horizon. Starting colonies,
I'll stand there
17 million bear,
nostalgic.
that kind of stuff. And the person there is kind of like, can I help? Are you okay?
Yeah, so I like identify myself.
And they how do they react? Do they sort of sit up and go, "Oh, sir, welcome back," or
Well,
do they
I want to know if they like type my name in and get the big red "fuck this guy"
bam,
picture
kind of thing? They type your name in.
So, maybe I'm thinking about rejoining, thinking I'm a bit too shit, being inside the agency feels like a good place to be. What other openings do you have? Policy on lizards.
X-nay on the Izzard lay.
X-nay on the lizard. BBQ, apparently. BBQ is the word on the lizard. So this person looks at you and is like, yeah, welcome back to Coriolis. We weren't expecting you at this office. Can I help? And they reach out their hand and they shake, that kind of stuff.
I'd be like, were you expecting me somewhere else? Like half as a joke, half to see what he says.
Well, Dr. Sedona says, like, if we were to meet you, then we should let him know that you've come back to Coriolis, and he'll come up from Kua to meet you.
Just so I know who that is.
Dr. Sedona is Varian Sonoda of the hospital who kept you on Kua of the Foundation.
Oh, those bastards.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that guy's boring.
And this person is just like, well, the visit has been logged, so hopefully you'll be up soon, and
like,
you can.
My friend is stuck outside. They're on one of the. Apparently something happened. What?
And they're like, oh, just a moment. And they like make some click clacks and scroll through some stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, all local transport has been stopped while. Oh, I think there's been an accident or something. Like they're very like blasé about it, not in a like, oh shit, like, well, there's been an accident or something. There's a bunch of airspace around, and he lists off a couple of docking levels. Has been cordoned, stopped all the shuttles as a priority. They're going to get some of the cleanup crews on it shortly, and your friend will be.
And there's
back.
A riot going on.
Yeah. Like none of that. Like the agents, they're very blasé. Oh, they've got some drones assigned to it, some cleanup crews. It's going to be tidied up. It's just a delay. Like I'll put in, and they ask for some details of your friend so they can be sort of expedited through entry, kind of thing.
Cool. Very much.
And do you give them, and they're like, oh, we've got a non-Kuan animal, a biosafety tag on your ship. Do you have the veterinary permits for this?
That's what it is. Like, have you ever worked in the field?
And they're like, no, I've never left Coriolis.
Yeah, like for some reason, pretty sure the Verbicels have got it in for me. I genuinely have no idea why.
And they like frown and they're like, who?
Yeah, okay. I think someone's like trying to play like a trick on me. But anyway, like the lizard thing, the non-Kuan animal, is on there, so I can get it a license.
Oh, you've got to pull it in, and they're like,
yeah, I've got to go through like the vets and get all the.
Yeah, they put so like you can see them putting some notes on your ID and Kirsch's ID and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
sure.
It needs a handler, so I need like someone who's familiar with why it's brought in this.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, Skavaran is probably not a good thing for. They're practically beasts themselves, so you should probably, look into getting a reputable.
Like it's really like lizard handling isn't really, like that known of a skill. So sometimes in the field you just got to go with what there is.
Okay. Well, yeah. And they tap in some stuff and that kind of thing, but they're just very blasé about whatever incident has just killed a number of Yusuf's new mates.
I just need one last favor, and like I really, really appreciate. Like sometimes when you've been like field or undercover, like get really gnarly about things, and like I swear to God, all the adjudicators eyeballing me. Probably just a little bit of residual paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any way you can check? Like,
and they shake their head. They're like, no, we don't have any. Like, we have ties to the immigration and the docking because of who we are, and we have to get things through. But I don't have anything to do with the guard or the.
probably nothing is like.
I mean, you could maybe. Do you know it? Bribed a judge or anything recently? You could get some information out of that. He's like, can you bribe a judge? Do you know a judge to bribe for this information? Which is not like an unknown thing. Like,
Like, you know what? I do know an intermediary that could probably take care of that. Is there a judge you would perhaps recommend?
And they're like, I don't know. I've never been important enough to need to.
Fair enough. You can tell Doctor whatever his name.
Varian, yeah. Sedona.
Like I should be free of my entanglements in like 5 days. I'd love to meet.
I can see. He's read the notification come through, so he'd probably be up here in a day or so.
Well, that's. I suppose I'll squeeze him in somewhere. One final thing then.
Uh-huh.
The customs search. Can you see where that originated from? Who gave that order?
I would like you to make a manipulation roll.
That's definitely not happening. Oh, okay. I have a massive. Just
You get a success.
It
Excellent.
was so unlikely. I was like, I have to physically show you that I rolled a 6.
So this poor little colonial agent is there, and they're either incredibly naive or they quite like Silsila's tight pants or something. I don't know.
Just more interesting than life.
Yeah. So they look and they go, oh, well, it was Dr. Sedona who put the markers on your vessel. Maybe just really wanted to see you.
Backhand the monitor over the wall.
Yeah, it was Varian who.
Right then. Well,
causing you this trouble.
Fuck that guy, but. Away. I'm just like, I hate that guy. Let's go and do him harm.
Okay.
All right then. So that sort of makes sense. Then that's that cleared up. All right then. So I will thank that guy. Profusely. Yeah, and I guess I will take my leave. I will message Kirsch that they have been expedited, but sadly I had to let them believe that they were a beast handling a lizard. So if anyone says that, just pretend they're dead and keep on walking.
Okay. Kirsch is like, Silsila, I'm not stupid. I know humans hate me.
No, not all.
And they're like, yes, I know. I can be a good Skavaran.
Fair enough. I will see you shortly, and at least you're off the bus quick. In fact, what you should do is make the lizard smell as much as possible, and then you'll be off the bus in front of everybody else, and they have to stay in the smell.
It's very unusual to be off bus first. Okay, I will try. And you I think I have some rooting around in a bag for some sort of
give it some moldy cheese, who knows,
offensive food.
Then my next thing is to message Yusuf and Inaz, all that says is fucking Varian. Fucking fuck.
Just swears.
Yeah.
And very...
Oh, that guy, no.
That guy owes me an hour of my life, prick.
Oh, no.
Also, he's probably on the way here.
Worse.
I know. Tell me about it. Like, he actually wants... Yeah, he thinks I'm going to meet him. I mean, in an airlock while I'm wearing a suit.
All right, well,
I text back, in a riot. Accident and docking areas.
Yeah.
I guess I'll text back, need help? Fly ship?
I'm probably running off to
I'll tell
Steve Door
Shaddy that
Central.
there's been an accident in the docking area.
Just type GL space HF.
like Jeff. So yeah, the riot is an odd one. Like the Steve doors, like all the Steve doors are in various levels of outrage. From, well, of course this was going to happen. Something is, it's. And like the in and I'm going to mention Alien 3 here. Where they're like, oh, of course, he's got himself killed. He's backed up here. I've told him these are dangerous, and people are sort of rationalizing it. Like, of course, like those two shifts have just done 10 days back to back.
Yeah, but why does the bloody thing explode? Why does the whole place explode?
And then,
the tired Steve doors doesn't mean the whole place is going to explode.
And then other folks are like Yusuf and like, no, this is sabotage. This is somebody getting back at us for something else, or this has got to have been like some of the shit we're moving is dodgy as hell. We're definitely breaking like ordnance orders and stuff like that kind of stuff. Other folks are like, look, it's just it's possibly sabotage or somebody cross with us for something we haven't done, and that kind of stuff, and like conspiracy theories and anger and everything like that is kicking off, and like this close to the sort of thing, like you're getting no real information.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Steve Door Central.
Yeah,
I'm going to head up that way because I know that'll just be people just be shouting and arguing, and I'm just throwing out like statements to like cheer people up,
just get involved in it.
They're trying to stop the union.
And there are folks who are saying that, like, this is because we've gone to the council.
So they want you to give in. They want you to give in.
Us.
Syndicate.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
No, those are the bad people.
Syndicate of the crime folks.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. And there must be rumors of like, we didn't give a shipment to the syndicate, so now they're killing us, and we're on the front lines and all that kind of stuff. Arriving in Steve Door Central, it is very like busily chaotic. There are folks being like, all right, we need to reroute all this kind of thing. We need to make sure nothing is going down this corridor, that kind of stuff. We need to make sure like we could organize this clearance party of folks out in the docking ring, so that kind of stuff, and just all this kind of things. And then somebody's like, I've got such and such from traffic control. They want to know when airspace is cleared, and they're like, oh well, I need 50 more men, and that kind of stuff. And that's
cleared when it's fucking cleared.
Yeah, that kind of conversation is going on.
Yeah.
And Zahira is there, like moving, tracking and stuff around.
Yeah.
And she spots you, and she's like, Yusuf, I wish we had.
What happened?
Drank so much as we did last night, but
it sobers you up pretty quick though.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's
deliberate, right?
I think it was deliberate, but I also think if we hadn't have been worked as hard as we had been, we would have spotted.
We might have spotted something.
Like,
sure, but we can't. You can't blame yourself for this. You can't blame the hardworking people for this. Someone's trying to stop the union.
I think so too. We've got some datagens coming down. They're gonna pull, and she when she says we, like you can tell she doesn't mean like Corio, like the people I work. Like we've got some datagens coming down, and we're gonna look at the feeds and we're gonna check and see what's happened before council get in there.
You need to get me that information.
And she's like, I need the yeah.
Share that with me.
And she's like, I will. And she, she reaches out to sort of hug, shake hands, that kind of stuff. And she's like, if they're targeting us, if they're trying to stop this, we need to get off Coriolis and tell more people and bring more people into the cause. We can't just have it ended here. This is why we need. And then she goes back into this is why we need to go to Hamura and all these different places. She starts
to stay and fight.
Like, fight with you there.
If all the stevedores leave, what are all those refugees going to do?
She's like, no, we don't all leave, but we have to take the message,
I agree.
To these other places.
Get the message out there. Look,
can't stop the signal.
Maybe I can help with that.
And she nods and she says, yes. I think you're going to be more than you realize, Yusuf. More than you realize. Not just here for the burr. And she smiles.
It's never been about the burr.
She smiles and then she realizes like she's in the middle of like a bunch of folks have died and
apocalypse.
Well, it is for some of the stevedores, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then like the contrast is perhaps Shanaz like going over tabulas and like looking over news. There's nothing mentioned. Like, there's a slight like docking immigration entrance to Coriolis delay. But the bulletin and all the stuff is pinning it and saying it's because of the refugees coming in, expect delays and returning to the net, influx of people, blah, blah, blah. Nothing about like an explosion or deaths or anything about the stevedores other than their outrageous demands via the Free League.
So I'll tell her that I've got a tip that there's been a horrifying accident downstairs.
Jaddy?
Yeah.
She's like, interesting. But it is 11:10. So she is like, sends the tip off and offers more tea because she's a refined businesswoman who is not in part of an alternative news network.
Excuse me.
Shanaz might get a few photos sent to her device.
What, actual relevant ones?
Yeah, they haven't got people doing this.
No,
with
I'm not doing that.
Guys.
I'm busy right now.
So with those pictures, I think that's all we've got time for this evening. This is a very, very plot narrative stuff is happening episode. I spent a few darkness points on things behind the scenes. In fact, that reminds me.
Yeah.
That reminds me. You don't get to.
I've been like avoiding metagaming by getting the ship checked.
Don't get to kill stevedores without spending some darkness points, I'm afraid. There we go. Thank you very much for playing Coriolis with me. And next week we will find out the results of various shenanigans and terrible news and so on and so forth. We'll find out if we've got a way to get to Mira. What other things other folks will demand and whether the stevedores will go on strike. Thank you for playing Coriolis with me. What day are we on? Tuesday. Tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Traveller.
Pirates
of Drynax.
Health and safety.
Yeah, and we're
space.
giving away a Pirates of Drynax PDF set.
Wow. Okay.
So the whole campaign.
Shebang.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
There's been on that one you scribbled it out. It says Fourth Horizon.
Pirates of the Fourth Horizon. Yeah, we've altered that PDF.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's
That'd be cool. That's 2100 GMT. And if you missed it, check it out at the weekend because it'll be up on YouTube.
Indeed.
That's Wednesday. Thursday.
Fractured Empire. Yep. We
Pod
didn't
racing.
play last week, unfortunately, but we will be playing this week.
Excellent.
And our party are about to get sandwiched between two things, but we'll see.
Nice. No, I don't know. This would be fabulous capes. It'd be great. And then I believe we're back to looking for Atlantis.
Yep. in North America.
We lamented our enemies and so on and so forth in the Conan, and now we're back to Atlantis, which is great. A bit of Cthulhu weirdness, and then you just have to come and check us out at YouTube over the weekend. Then we're going to chill.
If anybody wants to play Coriolis from the very beginning of this whole shenanigan, I have just started running the orange one, Last Voyage of the Ghazali, over on Start Playing Games. So I'm going to spam a link there.
Cool.
Yeah. Like I've said it on the Discord, it is a cracking scenario, the Last Voyage of the Ghazali.
What are your time frames and days?
I'm doing it on Mondays at 5 GMT.
Nice. Like a GMT friendly time for you.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's going on? Normally it's like Cracker Sparrows, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, nature of the beast.
European Coriolis.
I have a player in the States. I have a player in Australia. I have a player in Europe.
Nice.
All right.
Already. Yeah. So
Nice.
it's a global game already.
And it starts at the
It's going to
beginning.
be like 5 a.m. for the Australian game.
Back in time. What would that be? Coriolis
It's
calendar.
like 2 a.m. in Australia and 8 a.m. in the States and 6 p.m. in Western Europe.
Nice.
Cool.
Links in Discord as well. Put the link in the Discord, and then people who are watching at the weekend will be able to come to Discord and find it. It'll disappear in the thing, which is a nice way to say, come and join us on Discord. Fabulous pictures of food. We've been talking. What else have we been talking about this week? Food. Some shenanigans at the weekend, I think, about folks. Quick to the Discord.
There's still a few leftover remnants of like OGL things.
Oh yeah, some OGL, which is understandable because it's been a big thing. So we were talking. There was some nice talking about Pathfinder as well. I've seen. And Dodeca Realm Defenders.
Yeah.
Dragonbane's coming out soon.
Yeah.
So we should have it in our hands at some point.
All this on the Discord. Come and join us on the Garthopia Discord.
And Tofu.
And Tofu, very good looking. Maybe in Discord, if you come and join us, you can help me decide which college Nina Jack should go to, because she's applied to everything, and I don't know which one to send her to.
College of Valor.
College of Valor.
Eloquence. She strikes me as eloquence. She's just so good with words.
College of Chaos and Junk. She should be an artificer. Come and help me pick what class Nina Jack will be over on the Discord. I'll put that post in, make that comment now. And thank you very much for joining us. See you soon. What am I going to press? I'm going to press this button. Bye.